Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah, and this is the program that you're listening to. So let's get into it. Of course, you know I have two dreams for you. And once again, I tell you, man, if you have this paper right here, not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. That's found in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Man, get your 300 copies, go and just go on faith. If you didn't got back in the bonds of Forever Covenant, and you know what the Forever Covenant is, get your 300 copies and do them out. Told you it's gonna be like the battle in Midian, 300. So that's prophecy. Yeah, man, that's prophecy. I had two dreams, man, and man, you gotta forgive me. I'm kind of like not myself today. Mm-mm. What I mean when I say not myself today, man. You know how some dreams you get, they're all right, and some dreams you get, they shake it. Oh man, do they shake it? And so this is one of those dreams. Well, I'll tell you the last dream that I had. I'll tell you the last dream I had first. So I had seen this deuce and a half. So most people know what that is. That's a military truck, and they had two women sitting on the truck. So I go and climb in the back of the truck. So I see both of them black women. Um, so one of them is sitting on the tailgate. The other is sitting on a bench inside the truck. So I climb in the back and sit on the bench beside the woman. Well, not close beside her, but on the bench on the same side with her. So on the tailgate, fair skinned black woman. And and the one that I was next to her, she was dark skinned black. Both was Israel, both were our people. Before I can ask the woman on the tailgate, what can I do for her, or what I can help her with? Um, she hadn't got out the truck and got out this truck and went into another little pickup truck, and I guess it was with a man. So a man came in the truck and she left with him. The woman that I was sitting by asked her, what can I do for you? Or what I can help you with, or what I can do for you. She looked at me and her mouth, she had no teeth in her mouth. And I asked her, I said again, uh, and I asked her again, are you sure there's nothing I can do for you? And she said, I'm sure. The next we were sitting down the porch. So as she was saying, I'm sure that you can't do nothing for me. Well, her and myself were sitting down on the porch. Now, just remember, we was in the truck. Now we're sitting down on the porch together. And this man come out of this house, this apartment. And then she's standing up with him, mouth full of teeth, smiling. And when she sees him, he is smiling at her, she is smiling at her, and both of them are happy. They hug, they lock arms and smile. They lock arms. The woman look down, smile at me as they go into where they go there, arm in arm, and as they go into the apartment complex. So that was the dream. I repeat, I was in this truck, deuce and a half truck, reading Army military truck. You know, in the back they had two women. One was sitting on the tailgate of the truck, and the other one was sitting inside the truck on the bench. The one that was sitting on the tailgate of the truck, she was a fair-skinned woman. The woman sitting on the back, she was a dark-skinned woman. And so I get clam in the truck, and so I asked them before I could ask one of them what could I do for her, or what I could help her with. A man comes in a pickup truck and she gets off the truck and goes with him. So the next one, so I asked her, I said, well, what could I help for you, or what can I do for you? So a question of that nature was a question. And she looked at me and she had no teeth in her mouth. She said, no, you can't do nothing for me. All right. I said, so I asked them, I said, are you sure there's nothing I can help you with? Or there's nothing that I can do for you? And then as I say that, and she said, I'm sure there's nothing that you can do for me. And when she said that, next thing is before she can get out of the mouth, me and her are sitting on our porch. And then I see this man come out of the apartment house, see her now. She's standing, I look back, she's standing up. and smiling at him. He's smiling at her. Then he comes out, get her hand, and they hug, and then they lock arms together, and they go off, into the apartment. And she looked down at me, looked down at me, smiling, and she went back. And so that was the end of that dream. So it's I don't know. But all I said, I can tell you, but I'd like to wait. So this next dream, now this was the first dream, I was with these men or the people that had a conspiracy going on. And they had this one king that had conspired against the other three kings, because this one king had this one person that was that this one king had one person that was gold and controlled gold and can turn gold any way he wanted to. He was watching over the three kings. The one king tried with all his might to kill the other three kings, but they were in hiding or in a secure place. The man that was watching over them was watching over the men that was watching over them was men that gathered for at a time. The man that was in charge of the gold was moving it on places, and was moving it in places, in a place where this one king could not find it. And he was afraid of the man and his man that was in control of the gold. After the conspiracy was finished, after, after the conspiracy was finished, the word came, the three kings, they were relieved. The three were sitting around in white robes, togas. That's how I know they was kings, because how they, like in Roman days, sitting down in those togas or whatever they call. So that's how they was. So when the word came, they got up and started moving around. They went into the kitchen, and one of the kings just dropped dead on the kitchen floor. He just fell on the kitchen floor, and they had this jewel device, because you know how a jewel device is a distinctive device that was on the floor with him. And one of the kings said, one king to the other king, kick him, and kick him for him to get up. Yeah, kick him so that he can get up. So he kicked him. But he didn't get up. So next scene, the gold, the gold, they put the gold back in place where they had it before. We secured it. Next, I was in the bathtub, but the men came in and they wanted the bath first. And I said, well, I just said, that's okay. I'll just take a shower. And I woke up from that day. So, I'm going to repeat it. So, man, it was a big conspiracy going on. And I had on this gold. I was in control of the gold. I was in control of gold everywhere. But there's some spirit. They had this one king or this one man. He was trying to take the gold from everywhere and get in control of the gold. But I was there, and I was taking the gold and was a bunch of other men. So we was taking the gold and put it in from one spot and put another spot to secure it, because the man that was behind the conspiracy was starting all the mess. He wanted the gold. But he couldn't take the gold, and then by me, I come along, and whatever I tell the gold to do, like if a man had on a gold chain or gold necklace or something like that, I just tell, and if he was an enemy, I just tell the gold what to do, and the gold would do it. So the man that was in the conspiracy, he was scared of me because I had that type of control over the gold. So, but the other three kings, they had these other three kings. So just tell him. So I see myself first time in control of the gold, knowing that I have control of gold, and with a group of men. So we take these, huge crates of gold. How they have it on those, how they have it on those crates. And so huge of them, huge pallets of gold. And so, man, we was taking the gold and putting the gold in a secure place, and we're securing the three kings. So after we put the gold in a secure place, so we was there, and I was protecting the three kings, and we was waiting on the word for to come and say that the conspiracy over, the man that who did it was subdued, or they hadn't found out what he was doing, and they had him in control. So that's what we was waiting for. So as that word came, So next thing I'm in the three kings. So now I see the three kings that was who I was working for and who was in charge, and they was in and they were white togas or like that, and they was walking around and just sitting in one spot talking about the conspiracy and things like that. So when the word came and told them that it was over, they found the man, and everybody knew that he was doing what he was up to. And then they got up and then they went in the kitchen. So as they go in the kitchen, one of them just fall in the middle of the kitchen floor dead. So one of the kings told the other kings, they kick him and make him get up from there. Kick him and he'll get up, something to that nature. So he kicked him, but he didn't get up. But they had this jewel thing right next to him. I mean, you're in a dream, you see everything in a dream. So they had the togas was white. So they had it right in the dream. And so the jewel thing was there, laid down upon him. And so kicked him, he didn't get up. So next scene, I'm in the bathtub getting ready for take a bath. But they had the men that was with me, they came in the bathroom, so they want to take a bath too. But they want to take it in. I said, well, don't worry about it, just go take a shower. And then I woke up from that dream. Yeah. Well, the dream that I didn't tell you yesterday was a dream about they had this woman, and this woman said, some voice said, this woman can tell whether you have taken a shower or you just taking a towel and wash up under your arms. So that was the dream. So those are the two dreams. And man, there was some powerful dreams. Powerful dreams. So let's get into them. I don't expect to keep you long because the days are the days to get ready for the Holy Covenant. But, so I found this yesterday, man. I mean, I really look for this. Man, I look for this because it's Proverbs chapter 18, verse 23. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 23. The poor use it entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. Proverbs 18, verse 23. The poor uses, they say use it, entreaties, but the rich answer it roughly. So you know that's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth. So there are many proverbs about how rich people are and things that they do and things that they won't do and how they truly are. So yesterday, so I meet this guy that I know, and he's really he keep the I guess it's keep the covenant day and try to live that type of lifestyle. So I met him yesterday. So he gave me some information about, and I've been telling these things and I asked the Lord God give me these things. But once you start speaking these things and you be faithful with these things, and Lord God let you know where you can find these things out to let you know if it's the truth or not. So he goes on YouTube. He goes on YouTube and because these things I knew because of the Lord God had given them to me. But I'm gonna tell you what he gave it to me on YouTube. So I went there, man. I listened to that, and man, and it just was so much of the truth. It's called the Noahide laws, and that's what the name of the Noahide laws prophesied in the Bible. Noahide laws, and the other one is Rabbi of the Pure Hearts. And so I listened to both of them. Man, boy, when Lord God sent me to listen to both of them, it just was, man. So I mean, it lines up. See, they don't know, they don't understand, and because they are Jews, man. The first time I ever heard pure Jews, because usually I hear those the Talmudic Jews, or whatever. And so that's what he was talking about. Those that say they are Jews but are not. And so these two men are real Jews, man. That's the first time I ever heard it. I know that they exist. Now I'm not going to tell you, because all the time I know that they exist in Russia and places like that. And I know that they are the true Jews because of what they're doing. But these two here, they tell you about the books, how they have hidden these books. It's not easy for you to get these books because they don't let the books out to anybody. And as I read to you, in the Knox Gospel, when Jesus told, he said, the Pharisees and the scribes have taken the book of knowledge and hitting them. So that's lined up with that scripture there. But that's what I was saying. So he tell you, man, when you listen to that, I hope that you listen to it. I don't know what ones it is, but this one said, Rabbi of the Pure Horse inside, and they got CBC News, and that would say, it said, Rabbi of the Pure Horse inside the terror and the fifth estate. And man, you need to really listen to that because that is the truth. And this other man, the other man is, because I want to let you know, because I want you to know this. It's on YouTube. All this is on YouTube. Know how laws prophesied in the Bible, Israeli news, and so they go in there, man. And I'm telling you how this one man the Noah laws, how these Jews are getting ready to usher in their Messiah and start killing who? Christians. Yeah, man, they gonna start killing them Christians. I'm telling you, it's already planned. They're not on that. And so, you know, it lines up the Holy Scripture, how they say they're going to start taking them Jews. They're going to have those that say they're Jews but are not going to be killing those that are truly are Jews. Yeah. They're going to tell them either accept this law or, right, then he talks about how they have the guillotines and all that ready. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, man, all these elitists and everything, I told you, everything is prepared and everything is ready. And what they're waiting on to a major catastrophe, just like this SARS virus. It could be one of them that they be waiting on for them to usher in what they do. Because if you go look at the news, just go look at the news and go look at the news on, man, oh, what is the news? The news on, in Japan, not Japan. Japan got news too, but in China, where the Wuhan, where the virus first, the Wuhan village where the virus first, and it tell you, show you what they're really doing to these people and how they housing all these people and doing all these things for people. But you know what's gonna happen next. Oh yeah, you know what's gonna happen next. Man, they show you how easily this thing can be done. And you think it's a hard thing for these people to do, but these people have been preparing for this for years and years and years. And another thing he was mentioning how they was looking for a certain bloodline that was easy to mix the Nephilim blood. Yeah, that was easy for them to introduce these things into the Nephilim blood, what they had found out and what they had been done. Just go listen to it, man. And they go in and tell you how, but they already got a machine. They already got the machine to introduce the Nephilim in a certain bloodline. Man, that's when they had that little girl, and they told this little girl had a rare form of blood, and they was looking for it. Well, that's what they was looking for. And I told you in the dreams over and over again, the Lord God has showed me in the dreams over and over again. But they have a machine now. They have it looked like a regular typewriter. And I read that to the dream to you. That's all yesterday. And it is typing in. They either can splice their DNA into your blood. Not just yours, anyone. They can do it now. That demonic seed, they can just type it in and put it in you. Right? Well, you gotta believe me. I'm just telling you. So go listen to that. The No High Laws and the Pure Hearts, and they tell you truly they are truly Jews. From what they say, they are truly Jews. Yeah. Well, because they know that they weren't supposed to go in that land. And it tells you all that they know that they weren't supposed to go in that land. But those demonic Jews, tumultuous Jews, I don't know how to pronounce it right, but go by what Jesus said they are Jews, but they say they're Jews, but not. But so those the one that got in control of everything. Those the one. And you should listen to that because it's the truth. Because when you start getting into the Word of God, you know the truth when you hear it. And it lines up also with the book of Esdras. I just been reading that. Esdras, the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15 and 16 lines up with that. Man. Then it lines up with what Jason them done. Some powerful stuff, man. It really is. It's some powerful stuff. All right, so I got that out the way first. But of course, you know I heard T.D. Jakes this morning. And man, when I heard that man, it just like still regurgitating the same old lies. And this morning he was talking about Moses and the 400 years that we stayed in Egypt 400 years the first time. But that's a lie. We stayed in Egypt 400 in 400 years. The first time was 290 years that we stayed in slavery in the captivity the first time. It was. And then and then after that, then he's gonna talk about how Moses stayed what I think it's a poor and how what the poor in them was, his wife. And man, you don't know nothing about that. But you always want to go and I can understand why the Lord God is not pleased with you. He's not pleased with you because anytime the Lord God's supposed to tell you go ask T.G. Jakes when the hell do he want or what in the hell does he want. I mean, that let you know that person is not pleased with your actions or what you are doing. All right, but you still going on with the same old lies and that Moses went and stayed 40 years by Zipporah and their parents, but Moses didn't say stay 40 years with those people. Moses did was with those people 10 years. That's all he was with those people, 10 years. And then, oh man, he just want just so much, so many lies that this man saves, man, and just, but you won't take your time. See this book right here, all you gotta do is take your time. Go read the book of JASHER, J-A-S-E, this band for the Bible, book of JASHER, Jubilee, and Enoch. And all you gotta do is take your time and go read the book. Whether you accept what the book says or not, go read the book. And like I told you in the video how I got the book, so the Lord God just showed me where the book at. Like I told you, one day I had a dream about the book, and then the next day I went into the scriptures and reading it, and the Lord God gave me the book. Yeah, I went in there and read. It was I'm gonna get it to you. I think it's Joshua chapter 10 verse 13. Let's see if that's where it's at. And so that's what I was reading. And then he said, like I said, let's see, Joshua chapter 10 verse 13. See that? Yeah, and it said, and the sun stood still. That's what I was reading. It said the sun stood still and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher or Hasher, J-S-H-E-R? So the sun stood still in the midst of the heaven and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And so when I read that, I said, man, let me go see if I can find that book. And I just went on Amazon. Amazon. And so they had the book on there, but they had banned for the Bible. And like I told you, I already had the book of Enoch. And so I said, man, book of Enoch. Then they said, book of Jubilee. I said, I never heard of that book. I said, well, I'll get all three of the books. So it was 3 books in one. And so that's how I got the book. So that's how I know. I mean, the Lord God led me to the book. I didn't know nothing about that book. All right. Just like the Lord God said, say the book of the walls or the book of something. I can't think of it right now. My mind is not on it. But anyway, so when I got the book, man, I read and start reading the book, and everything in that book lines up the Holy Bible. But you gotta understand the Holy Bible has been abridged, and so all you reading is half truths because there's been abridged. There's got a lot that is missing that you need to know and need to go search out. But that's why the Lord God tells you that what these Pharisees and scribes have done. All right, well, I mean, all I can do is just give it to you like the Lord God has given it to me. Now, so everything you say, man, coming out your mouth is half truths, but you refuse to go. Then you're gonna talk about the burning bush. Then you talk about that about Moses' wife, but the Lord God said Zipporah was just as much as a woman as Asenath, as Sarah and Rebecca and Leah. That's what in Rebecca. Yeah, Rachel. That was the scripture said. That was the Lord God said in His Word. He said that Zipporah just as one of those women was one of those type of women, and He commended upon her But you don't say that. No, you say that he went and married a heathenistic woman and all like that. But that wasn't right. That was not right, bro. All right. Well, let's see what happened. Well, um, let me see. because I want to read this to you because I don't want you. I'm just gonna read part, and I know I have read this to you before, and um, but I'm gonna read it again because I want this man to know that, man, you need to stop with all that. Go back into preaching what you know about, and you can turn and twist the word any way you want. Because God people are now being fulfilled of getting the knowledge of God, not just that hooping and hollering. All right. It say at the time, this Hasher chapter 75. Hasher chapter 75. At the time in the 180th year of the Israelite going down into Egypt, there went from Egypt courageous men, 30,000 on foot. And the children of Israel was the tribe of Joseph, children of Ephraim, the son of Joseph. So that's after hunting down. That I spoke too soon. That was the time when 40,000 foot soldier in there, and the Lord God killed all of them because it wasn't a time for them to be released from the captivity, or released from the slavery. It wasn't a time. It wasn't a time. Everything have a timeline because prophecy have to be fulfilled, and it have to be fulfilled at that time. All right. Well, I'm gonna read it to you. I'm gonna find it to you. Well, that was the Lord God had given it to me to give to you. Now, sorry, I didn't look it up for early, but I wasn't planning on going this way at all. Mm-mm. No, I wasn't planning on going this way. But but um but that's how the Lord God has things done. All right. See, all right, that's the 2 years. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Now I'm gonna read it to you. That's Horeb. That's when the mountain Horeb is found in chapter 79 of the book of Hasher. That's the book of that's Horeb. Okay, all right. Because there's a reason, a purpose for everything under the sun. Everything that's under the sun. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to read this to you. I guess I'm gonna have to read this to you, but I don't really want to read that to you because I know that I know we read verse 17, chapter 75, verse 7. This evil was from the Lord against the children of Ephraim, for they went contrary to the word of the Lord, and gone forward from Egypt beyond the period that had arrived with the Lord in the days had appointed to Israel. See? Yeah, it said, this evil was from the Lord, he had killed them all. For this evil was from the Lord against the children of Ephraim, for went contrary to the word of the Lord, and gone forth from Egypt before the period had arrived, which the Lord in the days of the old had appointed to Israel. So that's what they had done. And so that's why the Lord God, because it wasn't our time. It wasn't our time. Well, let me see if I can find it for you. Because if I don't find it, I'll find it for you another time. You know I'm going to have it for you. It just might not. All right. Well, let's read this part because he said that, well, let's look. So Moses went to Midian, where he was afraid to return to Egypt on account of Pharaoh, and he went and sat at the well and the water in Midian. Okay. All right. And the 7 daughters of Rehu. So Rehu was one of Pharaoh's counsel. That's the one who told Pharaoh, man, leave them people alone. That's what he told him. Pharaoh asked his counsel, said, man, why don't you just go ahead and leave them people alone? You done tried everything, not gonna happen. But anyway, so and then he took the stick of Joseph and left. All right, well. In the 7 days of Rehu, the Midianites went out to feed their father's flock. And they came to well and draw the water to their father's flock. But the shepherd of Midian came and drove them away, and Moses rolled up and helped them and watered the flock. And they came from their father's house, Rehu, and told him what Moses did for them. And the Egyptian man had delivered us from the hands of the shepherd. He drew up water from us and watered the flock. And Rehu said to his daughter, and where is he? Why have you left the man? And Reu sent for to fetch him and brought him home and ate bread with them. And Moses related to Reu that he had fled from Egypt and that he reigned 40 years over Cush, that after he had taken the government from him and had sent him away in peace with honors and with presents. Because after Moses left Egypt, that's where he went to Cush. And the Cush, he stayed with their fighting wars with Cush, and they made him a king. They made him a king over Cush. And that's where Moses was till he came into Midian, because they had kicked him out because he wouldn't commit fornication with the king's wife. Even though the king was dead, he wouldn't do it. And so the woman said, get rid of him. He don't do nothing. He don't even touch me. And that's how our people are, but we done lost that. Okay, well, we getting it back, though. And when Reu heard the words of Moses, he said with himself, I will put this man into prison house, whereby I should win over the children of Cush, for he had fled from them. They took and put him to the prison house, and Moses was in the prison 10 years. You see that? 10 years. While Moses was in the prison house, Zipporah, the daughter of Reu, took pity on him and supported him with bread and water all the time. 10 years. And that's how you met Zipporah. And say what? And the children of Israel was yet in the land of Egypt, serving the Egyptians all manner of hard work, and had in the hand of the Egyptians continuing severity over the children of Israel in those days. And at that time the Lord struck Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and he afflicted him with plagues and of leprosy from the sole of his feet to the crown of his head, owing to the cruel treatment of the children of Israel. This plague at the time was from the Lord, the Pharaoh's king. And see, right now, that's what's happening now. Those plagues is from how they've been treating us over the years. I told you, man, them people, them Chinese people, some of the old Chinese people, they won't even touch a black man's hand. They won't touch Israel's hand. And the other people know how they are towards them. And so now it's their time. All right, well, you see, I just finished telling you. He said, and the Lord struck Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and was afflicted with plagues and leprosy from the sole of his feet to the crown of his head, on the cruel treatment of the children of Israel. The plagues at the time was from the Lord on Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. For the Lord had listened to the prayers of his people, the children of Israel, and their cry reached to him on account of their hard work. Still his anger did not turn from them. The hand of Pharaoh was still stretched out against the children of Israel. Pharaoh hardened his neck before the Lord and increased his yoke over the children of Israel and embedded them with their lives with all manner of hard work. And that's what's coming on you now. So you don't understand with this, with the president thing that he's doing. That's what that's about. Yeah, it's starting off good now because it's words. But Lord God said, don't listen to the words. Look at what they do. All right, well, let's continue on. Let's continue on. All right. Still the anger of the Lord did not turn from the hand of Pharaoh, was still stretched out against the children of Israel. Pharaoh hardened his heart before the Lord and increased the yoke over the children of Israel and embedded their lives with all manner of hard work. And when the Lord had inflicted a plague on Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, he asked the wise men and sorcerers to cure him. Now this is what's going on right now in Israel, that piece of dirt. This is what these people are doing. Listen to what he said. And his wise men and sorcerers said to him that if the blood of the little children were put into the wounds, he would be healed. See, it said the blood of the little children. And you know they weren't killing their children. Come on, man. Would be healed. So Pharaoh listened to them and sent a minister to Goshen. And the children of Israel take their little children. See? And they took their little children. And Pharaoh's minister went and took the infant children of Israel from the bosom of their mothers by force, and they brought them into Pharaoh daily, a child each day, and the physician killed them and applied them the plague, and thus they did all the days. And that's what's going on now. It's splicing the DNA, and that's why they had the Planned Parenthoods and everything, and put all this thing in you for you to run behind money, still letting Lord God take care of those children no matter what happens. Because Lord God said He's going to take care of them children. And when you read the book of Jasher, you see how, to the extent which the Lord God took care of Israel. But you don't believe that. You run behind the gold, silver, gold, money, hairs, and all that foolishness. But you're going to pay for that. You're paying for it now, but you're going to pay for it more. Well, anyway, so let me finish reading it to you. But anyway, let me finish. I'm gonna finish reading to you. So now you know what this is all about, man. And that's what people are gonna be doing. There's more to it than just that, but I'm just telling you, showing you one part. All right. And the number of the children of Pharaoh killed was 375. That's the number of children that he killed. But the Lord listened not to the physician of the king of Egypt, and the plague went on increasing mightily. Pharaoh was 10 years afflicted with the plague. Still, the heart of Pharaoh was more hardened against the children of Israel. And so when you go read this book, right here, the Testament of Solomon, it tells you that demon tell I'm saying Ephesus, Ehpipsuh. He the one said, I'm the one who hardened Pharaoh's heart. That's what he said. He tell you, I'm the one who hardened Pharaoh's heart. Go read the books. It's called the Testament of Solomon, and read who said that. And he's still down at the bottom of the Red Sea, and that's where he lived at. But he came up for Solomon. All right, go ahead. Well, go read it. And he's the one that hardened Pharaoh's heart. Okay, Pharaoh was 10 years afflicted in the plague. Still the heart of Pharaoh was more hardened against the children of Israel. At the end of 10 years, the Lord continued to afflict Pharaoh with destructive plagues. And the Lord struck him with a bad tumor and sickness in the stomach, and the plague turned to severe boils. Okay, and at the time, the 2 ministers of Pharaoh came from the land of Goshen, where all the children of Israel were. And he went to the house of the Pharaoh and said to him, we have seen the children of Israel slackening in their work and negligent. I don't know why I have negligent in their labor. And when Pharaoh heard the words of his ministers, anger set him ablaze against the children of Israel, and greatly, for they was greatly grieved in their bodily pain. And he answered and said, now the children of Israel know that I am ill. They turn to scoff us. Now therefore, the harness of my chariot, and I will take myself to Goshen, and will see the scoff of the children of Israel, which they are deriding me. So his servant harnessed his horse and the chariot for him. And they took and made him ride on a horse, for he was not able to ride himself. And he took him with 10,000 horsemen and 10 footmen. It said 10 horsemen and 10 footmen, and went to the children of Israel Goshen. And when they had came to the border of Egypt, the king rose and passed into a narrow place and elevated the hollow part of the vineyard and fenced on both sides, and a low plain country between the other side. And the horse ran rapidly in the place and pressed each other, and the other horses pressed the king's horse. And the king's horse fell into a low plain while the king was riding on it, and he fell in the chariot, turned over, and his king's face and the horse laid on the king. And the king cried out, for his flesh was very sore. The flesh of the king was torn from him, and his bones were broken and could not ride. These things was from the Lord, for the Lord had heard the cries of his people, the children of Israel, and their affliction. See, the Lord God here now crying now. That's why I tell you, get back in the bonds and the forever coming, because it's coming. It's already here. See how it was birthed then? It's have been birthed now. And the Lord God, this going to get worse. It's going to get worse, man. It's going to get worse, I'm telling you. All right? All right? And he placed him in the bed, and the king knew that his end was come to die. Well, I'm going to say apparently the queen, let's say Apartheid, the queen, his wife, came and cried before the king. The king wept with great weeping with her. And all his noble servants came that day and saw the king in his affliction and wept great weeping with him. And the prince of the king and all the council advised the king caused one to reign in the state of the land, whosoever he would choose from his sons. Amen. He chose. And the king 3 sons and daughter, which are Parthenon, the queen, his wife, had born to him, besides the king's children of his concubine. And there was named firstborn Othra, and the second Adakim, and the third Moron, or Myron, let's say Moron. And their sister named Elder Bethana, and the other Akazah. And the other author of the firstborn king was an idiot, impetuous and hurried in his words. And Accaron was cunning and wise man, knowing all the wisdom of Egypt, but unseemly appearance, thick flesh, very short in stature, and his height was 1 cubit. And he saw Achimaeus, his son, intelligent, wise in all things. The king resolved he should be king stayed after his death. And he took him the wife of Judah, the daughter of Abelard, and was 10 years old. Abelard, he was 10 years old and gave birth to him 4 sons. And afterward went took 3 wives and had 8 sons and 3 daughters. And this all it greatly consumed the king and his flesh, like the flesh of a carcass cast in the field of summer during the heat of summer. And when the king saw the sickness had greatly strengthened himself over him, he ordered Achimaeus and brought to him and made him king over the land in his place. In the end of 3 years, the king died in shame, disgrace, and disgust, and the servants carried him and buried him in a sepulchre in the kings of Egypt in Zor Mazarim. That's what he said. But they embalmed him not as usual, because the king for his flesh was putrid, and they could not approach the embalming him on account of the stench, so they buried him in haste. For the evil was from the Lord, for the Lord had rewarded his evil for the evil which in his days he had done to Israel. That was the Lord God said. Don't look how they lived, look how he died, and look how this man died. And he died with terror and with shame, and his son Atticus remained in his place. And that's what you do looking at now. And I tell you, and I told you about all the plagues and all that stuff that's coming up on the world. And how the Lord God said he's going to just have them in the open field. And they're going to be rotten flesh in the open field. I saw it. I just saw dung up in the open field. And that's what that means. All they're going to have rotten flesh in the open field. And nobody's going to come and rescue you. You don't have no 911. And I can call this rescue agent and the bayous and all them people. They ain't going to have none of that. Because they're going to be in trouble themselves. They're the one going to be out there stinking themselves. Why? Because the way they treat Israel. All right, and Achan was 20 years old and reigned in Egypt for 4 years. Okay, now I just read that, but I'm trying to get to the part where so when the Lord called, how many years when the Lord called him, but he was an evil king. All right, so let's see. That's when it made him do brick and a straw when that king came in. All right, so I'm just trying to, all right, here we go. Moses, wait a minute. All right, just give me a minute. All right, God heard the voice of the children of Israel, they cry in those days. God remembered this, is verse 24, chapter 77, verse 24. And God heard the voice of the children of Israel, they cry in those days. God remembered to this his covenant which he had made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And God saw the burden of the children of Israel and their heavy work in those days and determined to deliver them. Moses, the son of Aaron, was still confined in a dungeon in those days in the house of Reu the Mennonite. And Zipporah, the daughter of Reu, supported him with food and secret day by day. And Moses was confined in dungeon in the house of Reu 10 years. And at the end of 10 years, which the first year of the reign of Pharaoh and over Egypt, the place of his father, Zipporah said to her father Reu, no person inquires and seek after the Hebrew man, whom you bound in the prison for now 10 years. And therefore, if it seemed good in your sight, let us send and see whether he living or dead. But her father knew not that she had supported him. And Reu, her father, asked and said to her, has ever such a thing happened that a man would be shut up in prison without food for 10 years and that he should live? And the poor answered first, said, certainly, have you heard of the God of the Hebrews, and great and mighty, and does wonders for them at times? He is who delivered Abraham from the chariot, and Isaac from the sword, the father of Jacob from the angels of the Lord who he wrestled with at the ford of Jabbok. Also the name he has done many things. He delivered him from the river of Egypt and the sword of Pharaoh from the children of Cush and all of the children of Cush, and also delivered him from the famine and make him live. And the thing seemed good in the sight of Reu, and did according as the word of his daughter, and sent the dungeon and ascertained what became of Moses. And he said, behold, the man Moses living in the dungeon, standing on his feet, praising and praying to the God of his ancestors. But we not doing that. We pray to the gods of wood and stones, and we don't even acknowledge our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Joseph, Enoch, Noah, and Shem. Not even our fathers from whom we come from, whom Moses come from. See there? The Testament of 12 patriarchs. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, and Joseph and Benjamin. That's our ancestor. All right. And Reu commanded Moses, brought him out of the dungeon, and shaved him, and changed his prison garments, and ate bread. Afterward, Moses went into the garden, and Reu was behind the house, and he prayed to the Lord his God, who had done mighty wonders for him. And while praying, he looked afterwards to him, and there a sapphire stick. Let's see where is that? See that? A sapphire stick. You see that? All right. That's a sapphire stick. And afterward, Moses went to God, read behind the house, and prayed to the Lord his God who had done mighty wonders. And while he prayed, he looked afterwards to him, and there a sapphire stick was placed in the ground, which was planted in the midst of the garden. He approached the stick and looked and saw the name of the Lord God of hosts was graved on and written. Now, this is the stick Reu took when he left. Oh, my time is up. Oh, don't worry. I'll give a few minutes. And it developed on the stick, and he read it, and it stretched out in the hand. He plucked it up from the forest tree, from the thicket, and the stick was in his hand. This is the stick in which all the works of God was performed after he had created the heaven and earth and all the hosts of them, the seas and river and their fish. This is the stick. And when God had driven Adam from the Garden of Eden, he took the stick in his hand and went and tilled the ground for which he was taken. And the stick came down to Noah and was given to Shem and his descendant until it came into the hand of Abraham the Hebrew. And when Abraham gave it all to his son Isaac, he also gave him the stick. And Jacob had fled from Padan. He took it into his hand and returned as far as he had not left him behind. And also when he went down to Egypt, took it into the hand and gave it to Joseph, one portion above his brother, for Jacob had taken it by force from his brother Esau. And after the death of Joseph, the nose of Egypt came to the house of Joseph, and the stick came into the hand of Reu the Midianite. And he went out of Egypt and took it in his hand and planted it in the garden. And the almighty men, the Canaanites, tried to pluck it up when they was endeavored to get Zipporah, his daughter. So that's what he said. You can pluck up the stick, you can get the daughter. But they was unsuccessful. That stick remained planted in the garden of Reu until whom he had the right, it came and took it. And Reu saw the stick in the hand of Moses, and he wondered at it and gave him the daughter Zipporah for his wife. Now that's the story. Now let him go down and read Sesame the Mill, the Tomatic Jew, make another book and another movie up there that you believe. It had me believing that foolishness too when I was coming up. Instead, I started reading and I read it out the Holy Bible. But the account in the book of JASHER, it goes way in depth into it and tells you and shows you all the intricacies, forgive me, all the little parts of knowledge that you should know. Okay, I would say another word, but I'm tongue-tied now. Tongue-tied. All right. So that's how they came. All right. But listen. So, but he gonna call Zipporah and tell him Zipporah was one of those heathen women. So let's see what the Lord God said about Zipporah. In those days, Moses, son of Aaron, Midian, took Zipporah, the daughter of Reu the Midianite, for a wife. And Zipporah walked in the ways of the daughter of Jacob, and she was nothing short of the righteousness of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah. That's what the Lord God said about it. And so, man, when you talking about our people, Israel, and you know of our people, you know who our people are, man. You still with that Christianity lie. That lie with those Edomites. Go read the book of the Apocrypha. I don't have it before. Go read the Apocrypha wisdom book and see what Jason got with Constantine them and how they formed the Catholic Church. And how those cunning men that done this, and how those Tomatic Jews, they got together and they worked their work. You'll find that's in the book of the Testament of the 12 patriarchs. What Levi and all our fathers said, what the Jews was going to get what was going to get what the Jews going to get what the Gentiles and the Levites, the scribes, as they say, and work this work, and that's what they're doing. So now it didn't come to a conflict. These people have guillotines and everything else, bro, getting ready for chop off head and feed it to what, them giants and all that stuff. Boy, they got it prepared, bro. They got it prepared, and you just go ahead on and keep on doing. I'll read one more thing, then I'm out. So after also, then the Lord came, we say, well, man, my time is at hand. I know I can read another day, which I don't know, because the Lord God, people ask questions. So when you ask a question in law and you listen to this channel, most likely the Lord God gonna send me in a way for to help you to find out where this question should be answered at. And so, oh man. All right, all right. Because of what I was really looking for to tell you how many days that it was, and I read that to you before. Let me see. This chapter 8 in verse 1. At the end of 2 years, the Lord again sent Moses and Pharaoh to bring the children of Israel to send them out of Egypt. So that was 2 years afterward that he had that confrontation with the stick, and it turned Joseph's stick turned into that big snake, and ate the other 2 sticks and everything. And so that was after that. And if you give me a minute, I'm gonna find out. I can really, because I know it's 290 years. I know it's 290 years after they went down. And all right, here you go. This is chapter 81, the book of Jasher, Jasher, chapter 81. All right, the children of Israel journeyed to Ramesses the Sukkot, the 600,000, about 600,000 men beside them, little ones and wives. Also mixed multitude, also a mixed multitude went up to their flocks and herded with much cattle. So the mixed multitude are what? The Jews. They always followed us. Yeah, well. The temporary time of the children of Israel who lived in the land of Egypt in hard labor 210 years. See, the temporary time of the children of Israel who lived in the land of Egypt in hard labor was 210 years. And at the end of 210 years, the Lord brought forth the children of Israel from Egypt with a strong hand. So it was not 400 and something years. I'm just telling you, man. And you listen to these pastors and preachers with all these lies, but don't worry about it. Well, that's why the Lord God said he's not going to leave Israel totally unpunished. And he's not going to do it. He is not going to do it. And then before I leave, because you know you're going to prepare for the covenant day as I'm going to prepare for the covenant day. But I didn't know none of this. I didn't know none of this, but didn't know none of it. That was the Lord God wants you to be sick and tired and get fed up with all these lies and deception and want you to get to know him for yourself. Because that's what we require. You require, Lord, require the mercy and the knowledge of God more than the burnt offering and the sacrificing to God. And like Jesus said, when you shake off this intoxication, all that praise and song, and then you're going to become thirsty for the knowledge of God and to know the truth. And so that's what I did. Because the Lord God said, when you seek me with your whole heart, you shall find it. So I was talking to a Christian woman the other day. She's a Christian. And she's been like that for a long time. And she refused. She's stubborn, stiff-necked, and rebellious. So when you seek the Lord God with all your heart, soul, and mind, so you find out that you're not a Christian. You are a saint of God. You're of Israel, God's chosen people. And God calls you all these things, but why, except for what and then it's called Christians. Cretain. I just read that to you, what it really was calling it. But anyway. So when you find out these things, that's what I did. And so after I started certain things, Lord God started trying me. And as he tried me, he started adding things on to me. And just like with this paper here, So when I kept God in bind and forever covenant, Lord God started bringing me through his prophecies. And as he was bringing me through the prophecy, he was teaching me what all these things mean and where all these things come from and how they started about. And so that's why I wind up at what Starting off where it first started at, the book of Adam and Eve. That's how Satan first started off. And that's how I learned of these things. But I had to do the first step, the very first key, get back in the bonds of forever covenant. And once I did that, then these Lord God started revealing all these things. That's when somebody tell me something or read something to me and I know it's the truth, then I can understand. I know where it's at. I can easily find it. Or he easily send one of his angels to minister to me and tell me what it means. So that's why I say, get your 300 copies, man, and find out the Lord teach and strengthen you. This is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Now I'm Elijah. Until next time.